Funding Corp. Meeting for June 26, 2025. I'd like to call the meeting to order and welcome everybody and ask Bill to do a roll call.
Sure. Jeffrey Christ.
Here.
Susan Walsky.
Here.
Mark Green.
Here.
Linda Muller.
Here.
Dr. Vincent Oda.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have a lot of guests here. First of all, for staff, myself, Bill Fioravanti, Marty Barras, and Kelly Riley. We have Katie Jones is doing our AV. Our general counsel, Lino Sharetta, is here. Our New York State Monitor, Brian Sandage, is here. And we have joining us from Balkan, Pierre Savar, John Vidal, Andrew Higgins, and Jeff Forsythe. And we have Steve Gross, our Director of Economic Development. We have Dan Birmingham, our bond counsel. Tim, what's your last name?
Carol.
Tim Carroll, he's an intern for Leo Sharetta. We have our intern, Christian Kutala here. Who have I? Connor Eckert from the Orange County Partnership, last but not least, and Lucas Arachi from the Orange County Partnership. Who has not been claimed? Anyone? Okay, terrific. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Bill. I'd ask everybody to stand up to the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And this is the Funding Court meeting, and we have proof of notice in our board packets. And I'd like to move on to the minutes from our May 14th, 2025 board meeting. Any additions, questions, corrections, or motion to approve?
We'll make that motion.
Motion by Susan to approve, second by Doc Odock, thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same, motion carried.
I'd like to know that I'd like to abstain since I was not at the meeting.
So noted, thank you, Linda. Under new business, the Finance Committee just met in a few minutes before this meeting to look at the May 2025 financials and make a recommendation for the May and June payables. Mark, would you like to mention any highlights from the Funding Corp?
Exceptionally quiet week, quiet month this month. The only thing I would like to note is that we did get a payment from our COVID loan of $50, and so I just want to thank people for continuing their obligation. But other than that, everything was well in line, and again, very, very quiet week, quiet month.
Thank you. Kelly, did you have anything to add on the payables?
No.
We're good? Okay. Questions from the board? And note that those financials and payables are in the board packet as well. And the committee did recommend the board approve both of those items today. So I would ask for that motion unless there's any other questions or comments.
I'll make a motion. Can we approve both at the same time, both the
Yes.
financials and the June payables?
Yes.
That would be my motion.
Thank you, Linda. Second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Second by Susan, thank you. Last call for questions. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Motion carried. And unless there's anything else to come before the Orange County Funding Corp meeting, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. You good with that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
I will motion that.
Motion to adjourn by Mark, second
Second.
by Linda, thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, and the meeting is adjourned at 5:04 PM. June 26th. I forgot to note the time we started.
5
We're-
o'clock.
Right at five.
Right at 5, okay, we started that meeting. And we can move right into the IDA meeting if that works. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Orange County IDA for June 26th, 2025. And ask the roll call for Bill, please.
Jeffrey Christ.
Here.
Susan Walsky.
Here.
Mark Green.
Here.
Linda Muller.
Here.
Dr. Vincent Oda.
Yeah.
5 of 7 members here. For staff, myself, Bill Fioravanti, Kelly Riley, and Marty Barras. Kaden Jones is doing our AV. We have Mr. Brian Sandage, our New York State Monitor, our General Counsel, Lino Sharetta, our Bond Counsel, Dan Birmingham, and we have a number of guests representing Balkan, Piero Savar, John Bedell, Jeff Forsythe, and Andrew Higgins. We also have Mr. Connor Eckert from the Orange County Partnership and Steve Gross from the Director of Economic Development for the county. And lastly, we have our interns. We have Krishna Kutala and Tim, one more time, Carol, with Blakely Platt. That's everyone.
Thank you. Welcome.
Lucas Arachi over there,
Oh,
I'm sorry, as well.
Lucas, yes. Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you here. I will just note, proof of the notice for this meeting is in our board packet and duly executed. And to make efficient use of everybody's time, particularly our applicant on the agenda tonight, Balchem Corporation, also known as Project Dairy, I'd like to move down to that agenda item. Everybody's welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if they like, but we'll cover this one first. And Bill, would you do the introduction?
Actually, I'm gonna ask Connor Eckert if he would start it off for us.
Thank you.
Connor,
Yeah, actually,
please.
if I, Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
there is an extremely slim chance of there being a conflict of interest here for me.
With this
However,
project.
With this project. However, I think it would be best if I recuse myself at this time.
Okay.
I wish you all the best.
So noted. Connor,
Very good.
you're up.
Mark, you can go straight ahead if you want to.
Yeah.
We've got a packed house tonight. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is, it's a good place to stand.
It's as good as that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My name is Connor Eckert. I'm the president and CEO of the Orange County Partnership. And I have the sincere pleasure tonight of introducing a project that we've alluded to for quite a long time, is Project Codename Dairy, also known as Balchem Corporation. So for the past, we'll say, year and a half, we've had the pleasure of working with what was then Dairy, now we know as Balchem, on a strategic and very deliberate site selection process that spanned, again, over a year. And for those of you who don't know, Balchem is a publicly traded nutraceutical manufacturer with locations across the globe, certainly locations across the Northeast. And where we are today is they, dating back from 1967, located one of their first facilities, if not their first, in Slade Hill in the town of Wawayanda. Now that facility, what brings us here today, is outdated. The facility no longer can accommodate their need in the market. So that's what entered this requirement, which is a critical expansion and retention opportunity. Now over the last year, we've worked with Jeff and John and Pierre on a really systematic site selection process. We submitted 10 sites, narrowed it down to 5 sites, did a tour with Pierre and John and Jeff on the screen, and then we eventually landed on a site in the town of Walk Hill, a previously entitled site at 36 Finney Drive in the town of Walk Hill. Now, if you don't know, Balchem's history in the community, again, 1967, one of the first facilities of the company located here, and in 1967, the company went to the Greater Middletown Industrial Development Association and asked for a loan. I have a little piece of history here that I'd like to hand out because I think it's very interesting. So this is the piece of history that really dates as to who the company is, longtime fixture. And here we are today with a similar vein. Again, Balchem, then a startup, now a publicly traded company, listed on the NASDAQ.
Thank you.
So the project represents a roughly $40 million capital investment, and very critical. It represents the retention of this company's presence in our market, but also the retention of jobs in the community. Now, throughout the process, again, we looked at sites in Orange County, but this team looked at sites across the tri-state, in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and other markets. So this project represents a critical retention and expansion opportunity. Again, and the flash in economic development is you see the attractions, right? The big names, the big new projects. Here, this represents what I think is the backbone of economic development, supporting the existing manufacturing ecosystem. Because as many of you know in the room, our strategy here is we need to build a really life science, advanced manufacturing based economy in our market, and it starts by supporting our existing employers. So again, highly systematic site selection process. We went across the market. It represents a critical investment in our community. It represents a project that keeps jobs in Orange County, keeps a company in Orange County with a rich history, and quite frankly, the incentives at this point in the site selection, that's gone a year again, are the critical piece of keeping Balchem in Orange County and ensuring that they continue to employ people. And in the future, and I'll let the company and Pierre speak more to it, there's opportunities to bring R&D back to the facility that's slowly been offloaded across the country. So again, some $40 million investment, job retention, company retention in a critical sector for our county, supporting the ecosystem and ensuring Ballcamp thrives in our community for many, many years to come. So with that, I'd like to hand it off to my friend Pierre to give a feel of the facility and the company, more so. We have Jeff and John and Andrew on the call as well, who can give that perspective as to the application and who the company is. But thanks very much, and really excited about this opportunity.
Thank you, Connor.
And also during the site selection, I met Pierre and John, and it was like a cloak process. They couldn't share their names, no business cards. So it's this is the first time I've seen Pierre since we toured sites. So it's almost like
I told him I was from Belgium, which is true, but he didn't know I was actually living here.
Please.
I don't know, John, if you have a chance to share the 1 or 2 slides that we had, but if not, I'll just do like that. And thank you, Connor. So I'm Pierre Sevar. I'm the plant manager at our Short Slade Hill facility. You actually said like a lot of things that I was gonna say in my little speech here, so I'll just like point out a few important things. I mean, the first is maybe more details about who we are. So Balcom, we employ about like 1,300 employees. As you can see, we're all over the world, but mainly in North America. We have presence for manufacturing in Europe and in Asia as well. You mentioned Slade Hill being, one of the first sites. It's actually the first site. So this is where everything started for Balcom. It's our Slade Hill plant, and it was founded in '67, but this was actually an old dairy complex or industry. That was actually built in 1917. So our facility is over 100 years old, and obviously this goes with challenges. I mean, the first one is obviously aging infrastructure. The second one is like we're lucky to be in a growing business. The demand goes up and up and up, and we're kind of out of space and at the top of what the Slade Hill sites in terms of capacity can handle. So we're like currently in the process to negotiate to purchase that land on Feeney Drive, which for us the plan is really to build like a state-of-the-art, world-class food manufacturing plant. And not only that, is like we also want to consolidate that type of product, which I'll talk a little bit about it. We do human food ingredients, we call it encapsulation, but we also do that product in Missouri. So the plan here is to consolidate all that and bring basically the Missouri production demand over here in New York, Orange County. This is a little bit about our product. When we say encapsulation, what we do is we take substrates like salt, baking powder, some like weak acids, always in powder, and we slowly encapsulate it with vegetable oil. And that's basically all it is. I know it's like basically products that everybody has in their household, but it's really our manufacturing technology that makes it basically special. That product then goes, so we sell that in terms of in powder, and it will go to all kinds of like food manufacturing, in bakery, in meat processing, or making sweets and candy. There's a lot of advantages to it. I don't work in sales, this is really not my specialty. But it's usually about enhancing flavor, better shelf life, or fluffier bread, leavening control in the bread industry, and so on. Now, one important thing to mention also, we don't have any types of chemicals in our process. We really just use normal, I would say, powders, right? As I said, salts, baking powder, and we use vegetable oil. We clean with hot water, and nowhere in our process we have like I don't know, cleaning chemicals or any type of other like chemistry going on. Yeah, this is the project. So again, 70,000 square feet. This is basically Feeney Drive, just on the side here. There's wetland towards 84 that's not going to be affected. We're going to be high up. Yeah, we key important thing for us is also working conditions for our people. Obviously, in an old site, there's not the room to bring all the machinery that should be used, these times of day. So we're going to build that to have the best working ergonomics and worker safety. And then, as I said before, we're in a business that grows continuously, year over year. We haven't had 1 year where the demand dropped down. And we're building this plant with the capability to increase by over 50% what we're gonna start making there at the beginning. So there's obviously opportunity for growth there in the future. All right, this is what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Pierre. Any questions, Doc?
Yeah, the way I understand this, apart from other things you produce additive and flavors that go into food, or that's all?
So we do have all the human nutrition business, right? All of that is supposed to relocate to the new facility. We also have a specialty product business there that is sterilization gases. This is going to stay at the State Health facility. We're not going to close that plant. It's going to stay with the specialty business. With the specialty business and some warehousing capacity too.
Other question?
Susan?
So during the construction process, we have local labor laws. Will you be putting in robotic systems that might require out-of-area labor to install?
John, this might be a question for you that you want to take.
So we're currently do not have a construction contract. We're in negotiation on that construction contract, and the contractor that we work with would certainly be required to follow any local labor laws.
I think it's reasonable to expect there's gonna be some specialty stuff here.
Yeah.
But our local labor policy has avenues where those are acceptable, because we know you need that to build the facility, most likely. Anybody else? I might just say, in kind of finishing the tee up of this, we have an application for Volcon, correct?
Sure.
And this is the inducement to start the process, which will include a public hearing.
Yes.
Am I on track there, Lino?
You are on track, Mr. Chairman.
And we'll have a roll call vote here, which I think we're about ready to do. And that would include a motion that's on page of our packet.
10?
It starts on 10 and the roll call vote is on 14. So I need a motion and a second to begin the approval of this inducement resolution. Am I forgetting anything?
Yeah, I just want to add that the applicant is looking for both sales tax and a pilot. And regarding the sales tax, it's for qualified expenditures in the amount of $11,161,305, which results in exemptions up to $906,856 of state and local sales tax. So that's in your proposed inducement resolution, and that would be the motion.
And those numbers are on the first page, 10. Anyone care to make a motion?
I'll make the motion, Chairman.
Thank you. Susan, second to that motion?
I'll second it.
By Linda, very good. And I'll ask for a roll call vote, please, Bill.
Jeffrey Christ,
I'm in favor.
Vincent Odock,
In favor?
Linda Muller,
Aye.
Susan Walski.
Yes.
That's 4 ayes. We have 2 absent and 1 recusal. Motion carried.
Excellent. Motion carried, and we'll be determining a public hearing date in the near future.
Yes, I'll work with the Balcom team to line that date up.
thank you, everybody, for coming in for this exciting project.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
No need to
Thank
sit
you
through
very much.
everything. Bill.
Minutes because she was absent at that meeting. Committee reports, starting with Finance Committee. Mark, please.
A little more activity than in the funding corp. First and foremost, we have a CD that came due. We voted to roll that back into Provident Bank at 4.05% on 9 months. So we will continue with our 3-month stagger. This will come due in March of 2026. A few more expenses and such, mostly due to the Amazon project, and also we received some EPA reimbursement. We also had higher expenses because of our office here getting painted. And we had some legal expenses that were a little bit higher because of Royal and our handbook. That really is the highlights. If anyone has any specific questions, I'm sure be willing to answer them.
And the Finance Committee did recommend to the board the approval of both the financials and the payables, as well as the CD, as Mark noted. So I might just ask for a motion on the financials and payables, which are listed under new business, to accept those.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Linda. Second to that motion.
I don't like making a motion because I'm the head of the committee.
Doc Odock, we saved you.
Thank you.
Anything else questioning wise on the May 2025 financials and the May-June payables?
Oh, good, I read through them.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. And I'd like to just get the CD recommendation out of the way to go with Provident for 9 months. Kelly's gonna initiate that after this motion as soon as she can, tomorrow or whatever. Would anyone care to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Linda. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Susan. All in favor on the CD?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm in favor. Opposed? The same? Motion carried. Excellent. My chairman's report, I'd like to highlight a couple of neat things that took place in the last month. One being the SUNY Orange had their 75th anniversary, which they had a nice celebration and a very strong turnout. But the neat thing about having SUNY Orange right here in Newburgh and Middletown is they have training for people where a lot of these new companies need trained workers. And I see that they're very tuned in to being proactive and the type of programs they're developing to prepare these workers for jobs coming up. So it was well supportive, a lot of enthusiasm, and I think something that matches the Orange County IDA mission to a large degree to bring in these companies and have workers that can fill those jobs. Secondly, the New York State Annual Economic Development Council had their meeting in Cooperstown. And of course, a lot of neat things going on there. One thing that parallels our brownfields grant was a program on brownfields. And you'll see some of this in Bill's report as well, but AI is, as we all know, a huge topic. And that was a topic at the conference as well. And there's so many opportunities, and there have to be some road guards to stay on track, and a lot of that's being developed. The other thing I found particularly interesting is energy demands. A lot of these new companies, especially the transducers and so forth, demand a lot of energy. And the excess capacity that's been available in New York State is basically getting used up. And the plan is a little concerning where we're going to get that additional capacity as we need it. Nuclear power is about 12 years out, according to the experts. Even further, gas centrifuges are 4 or 5 years out. So it was stated that a lot of what can help fill the short-term need is clean energy, because that can be done more quickly. So that was something I wasn't aware of before, and maybe I'll hand it off to Bill for his report and anything tied in with those couple events. You were at both of them.
I was, yeah, it was great. Really, just second the importance of that, and I just add a couple of things to my report. I do want to mention our interns. We have 2 of them actually that we're working with. Krishna, and he knows I love talking about his major, which is quantitative analysis and data, quantitative economics and data analysis, so low-level stuff like that. He's done some great research for us already, because that's really where his passion is, helping us assess economic impact for our projects, trying to actually articulate that. So he's done a lot of great research for that. And there are a lot of my dog and pony shows trying to help people understand what we do with the IDA and the impact that it has. And I'll use statistics based upon revenue generated from projects, this, that, and the other. I've been using some outdated statistics lately, and Krishna has updated all of that. So he's done some great research, and we've connected him with some of our other sister organizations to help him, perhaps do some work for them as well. Then we have a young man starting on Monday, Ethan Dubner. He went to my alma mater at RPI. He's a business major, and he's going to be working in the office day to day, helping us little backup on the phones and some office, some clerical work, but also going to be working on some special projects himself. He came through the county, whereas Krishna cold called us actually, looking for a position.
Yeah.
He goes to school at SUNY Albany. He's going into his last year. And where are you going to spend the next semester?
In Italy.
In Italy.
In Bocconi University.
In
Milan.
In
Milan, yes.
That's wonderful. So don't feel badly for him. But that's it. I want to add that. And then also, we're always trying to develop some sort of summer schedule, give you a little bit of break if we can. The way the agendas are lining up, it looks like we are able to cancel our July meeting. So we will not have a meeting on July, I believe it was 16th. But our August meeting, which is scheduled right now for August 20th, we'd like to move that up. So right now we're targeting Tuesday, August 12th as a date. It's a different date than I first gave you,
Okay.
And I'm going to continue to poll the members that aren't here and see if that's something that we can line up. But you'll certainly get notice on that. But Tuesday, August 12th, the new date, starting at 3 p.m. with governance. That's it for me.
Comments, questions for Bill? I might just ask on our interns, what's their time of being with us?
Krishna has been working for about 4 weeks already.
Okay.
He's got another couple unless he gets taken away by the partnership or HVEDC. I want to make sure he has plenty to do. And Ethan's going to work with us for about 4 or 5 weeks total.
Okay.
Yeah, for the rest of the summer.
Sounds good, thank you. Moving on to Royal Wine extension. Bill?
Yep, simple enough. This is for
Sales tax.
their sales tax extension, their sales tax exemption. They are almost done with the entire project, and but their sales tax exemption expires at the end of this month. They need a little more time. I think they asked for another month. We suggested that they request till the end of September, which is what we're looking for here, just in case they have some unforeseen circumstances. So just looking to extend their STE for the last time until September 30th of this year.
Questions, comments? A motion to approve that, and that's in our board packet
It is.
as well. I think it starts on page 16. Let's see here. Yes. Would anyone care to make a motion? You volunteering, Mark?
I am, I will make a
Okay,
motion.
thank you. Second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Thank you,
It's a great
Susan.
project out there.
It's impressive. Any other comments, questions? I'll ask for a vote. All in
Are you
favor?
doing a roll call?
Do we need a roll call?
You're for yes, for that one, you get
Okay,
the extension.
thank you,
get the-
Linda. Keep me in line. Bill, a
Okay.
roll call.
Jeffrey Christ,
I'm in favor.
Susan Walski,
Yes.
Mark Green,
Yes.
Linda Muller,
Yay.
Dr. Vincent Oda.
Yes.
5
Excellent.
ayes.
Yes, that was just noted. So that motion is carried,
That is carried.
and that brings us down to any other business for today? Because we could not have governance, the local labor policy and the fee schedule are not gonna be entertained today, correct?
Right, correct.
Anything else that should come before us today, Bill?
No, sir.
Hang up, we good?
We are good, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to adjourn, if anyone would care to make.
Well,
Climactic,
but okay, sure.
Yeah, second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you all for being here. The time is 5:32.
Dang, wow.